Good afternoon, this is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding, here to discuss the 2021 basics of the Streamlined Foreign Offshore Procedures. The reason why this is so important is because the Streamlined Offshore Procedures might be on the chopping block, right? In 2018, they did away with OVDP, which is the Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Program. November 2020, they did away with Delinquent International Information Return Submission Procedures, which was another non-willful alternative, not really a program per se. And the IRS has basically said, look, Streamline is just a band-aid. It's just to help taxpayers understand and get into compliance with things like FATCA, which is the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, and with the IRS's renewed interest in dinging everyone they could find with FBAR penalties to give people a chance to get into compliance with the FBAR as well. Side note, FBAR has been around for about 50 years, but in the last probably 10 years or so, the IRS has really ramped up enforcement. So the reason why the Streamlined Foreign Offshore Procedures are a great program for people is because there's no penalty. I mean, you could go to some of these fear-mongering, scare-mongering websites. They make you think, oh, if you file a late FBAR, you're going to prison forever. They're going to throw away the key. They're going to ding you with $1 billion penalty. You'll never see your family again. It doesn't work that way, right? I mean, under the Streamlined Foreign Offshore Procedures, you might own nothing. I mean, it's a complete penalty waiver, okay? So all those FBAR, FATCA, 5471, 80, not 8621, there's no monetary penalty for that. 8865, there's lots of penalties you could possibly get hit with, but Streamlined Foreign says, look, if you're non-willful and you qualify as a foreign resident, one, there's no penalty, and two, you can still use things like the foreign earned income exclusion and the foreign tax credit. So at the end of the day, you may not owe any tax and you may not have any penalty. It's great if you can qualify for the program. One other really nice benefit to the Streamlined Foreign versus its Streamlined Domestic counterpart is that for Streamlined Foreign, there's no you weren't required to file original tax returns. So under the Streamlined Domestic Offshore Program, you have an opportunity to amend a tax return if it was done timely. There's a little wiggle room when it comes to timely, but under the Streamlined Foreign, you could file original returns. It's great for people who are expats, of course, or accidental Americans. They may not have known at all that they were required to report in the first place. So if you're considering doing the program, generally it helps to have a counsel, but it may not be cost effective for you. So if you're going to do it yourself, you should at least consider to do it sooner as opposed to later. If you're going to hire counsel, especially if you're living overseas, a few important tips. The attorney should be a board certified tax law specialist. Any doofus attorney can run around and say they're a specialist. They specialize in FATCA, they specialize in FBAR, they specialize in everything. But unless they're board certified, then there's no state bar that has deemed them a specialist. In order to pass the exam, it's pretty intense. The specialist designation is offered in around 11 or 12 states, but attorneys from all over the countries would try to waive into other states just so that they can take the exam. The entire matter should be handled in-house, the tax and the legal. There is no attorney-client privilege with a CPA, so a lot of these attorneys will ship you out to an outside CPA. Now you're paying the attorney hourly, you're paying the CPA hourly. You start talking to the CPA about legal things because that's life, right? You're in the middle of a conversation with the CPA, kind of veers off a little bit, but there's no attorney-client privilege with the CPA. So you have to be very careful, and Covel doesn't really protect you from anything like that. And it should always be flat fee, full service. There shouldn't be any sort of hourly fee when it comes to the Streamlined. You go over with the firm what your situation is, what your scenario is. They should be able to quote you a flat fee based on those facts, right? We have lots of information available on our main website, goldinglawyers.com. If you think if you want to, you can schedule a reduced fee initial consultation if you think it's appropriate. You may be able to find everything you need just doing a bunch of searches throughout the website. Again, my name is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding. Thank you for your time. Have a nice rest of the day and a good new year.